Today we're talking about Us, not you and me. We're talking about Us, the new horror flick, directed and written by Jordan Peele, starring Lupita Nyong'o and Winston Duke. Watch.
You know how sometimes things line up? Coincidences? Since we've been up here, they've been happening more and more. It's like there's this black cloud hanging over us.
There's a family in our driveway.
Who is that?
Run.
What are you people?
It's us.
Rated R.
If you're not just scared by that trailer, I was frightened, okay, by the trailer. Why would I subject myself to this, to going to actually seeing this movie? I did, and it was terrifying. It was a true horror flick. Now, a lot of people didn't think Get Out was a true horror flick. They thought it was more suspenseful. It was to me, but this one, there's no denying this is a horror flick. And, you know, I was thinking, what would make Jordan Peele even want to do something? What is in his head to make him think of something so crazy like this? Here's what Jordan Peele says.
When I was a kid, I saw this episode of Twilight Zone called Mirror Image, which was written by Rod Serling about a doppelganger at a train station, and it scared me. I used to think about a doppelganger across the subway platform as a kid. So I always had that. I always start with something that every time I think about it, it scares me. Because that's my engine. That's my horror engine. From there, I thought about what is that about, and really I studied doppelgangers. I went and this idea of the shadow self, which comes up in many cultures, many mythologies, and it tends to be this sense that there is a darker self that we suppress. And we suppress it because we are afraid of what it means, and it holds our guilts and our evil, really.
So this film is truly a horror flick. A lot of people argued about whether or not Jordan Peele's last flick, Get Out, was a horror flick. I thought it was, but there's no denying Us is a true horror flick. So I was terrified. I literally cried in the movie theater, yet I sat there and watched it. So Lupita Nyong'o here talks about what her reaction was after reading the script. I'm sure it's what your reaction is going to be when you see this film. Watch.
I was really afraid. I distinctly remember my shoulders being up like so, and like me reading the script like this. I've never read a horror film, and it was the first one that I'd read, and I was terrified just reading it.
If you like horror flicks, go see this. It is terrifying. However, know that you're going to be scared. I went with my 22-year-old son, who is 6'5", and we were both afraid. He's like, Mom, come on, let's walk over here. I was like, oh my gosh, when it's dark, I'm terrified. I'm like, when am I going to be over it? I'm not going to see any more scary movies. I'm done. Finished. However, I want to know what you think about this film. Am I dead on? I shouldn't even say dead on. That's the scary thing that I said. What is wrong with me? You need to go see this film. If you like horror flicks, you will not be disappointed. But I want to know what you think about it. So please comment in the section below.
Rated R.